Welcome back to Chip Chat and Chill, guys. Hey! Each week, we're laughing and munching our way to excellence. But first, we unlearn some things together in this millennial life. We're unbigging our brains and hearts. And if we get it done, our kids won't have to. So, previously on Chip Chat and Chill, so to say, we covered the first half of what will be a series on grief and loss, as well as transitioning through life and the way it lifes, okay? Because life be lifing. 2024, I've never put myself in a position where I feel like I have to say, God, why me? I'm accepting of the model and the mindset of, God, why not me? However, 2024, I was like, what did I do to you? That's how I feel. 2024, what did I do to you? Good grief, what beef do we have? Because I thought we were going to do a great big one, a couple of big ones this year. Still got some accomplishments and goals done, but there were a lot of big hurdles that honestly have traumatized me. And this has been the most traumatizing year of my adult life. So as I transition into 2025, this is going to be a series dealing with, again, grief and loss of the most recent loss that I have faced. 6 months apart. First, and in March 2024, I lost my aunt, my baby doll. I miss you, Gilda. And most recently, Friday, September 13th, my mother passed very suddenly, very shockingly. So now that the shock is kind of coming down to a simmer, so to speak, in just a little way, I'm just navigating what looks like a normal for me, a new normal for me, with my children, my husband, my family, my friends, my network, my professional life, all the things that my heart desires. I'm looking at life differently. I'm becoming a different person, not totally different from the core of who I am. I am still silly. I'm still funny. I'm still all things food. I'm all things let's have a good time. Let's live this life on 1,000 and just live it up. That's still me, but there are some things that have changed about me that I am noticing. And in the meantime, I've had a lot of things that I've gotten done since Friday, September 13th, and a lot of life experiences that I just wanted to share. And thank you again for everyone that has reached out, given your condolences, your thoughts, your prayers, your support that have been with me from the very beginning. October, Chip Chat and Chill turned 4 years old, and we didn't quite get to celebrate, but we are going to celebrate during this series. Even though it is grief, we can grieve and celebrate at the same time. Those two things can, and they will coexist. I wouldn't be Zakiya if they didn't. So, you guys sent in some questions to me that I am going to answer. For right now, this will be at least part 1. There's, at minimum, a part 2, possibly a part 3. So I'm going to start answering questions. I want to give a brief update. First of all, I'm going to chill on room right quick. This is a good shake. I made a quick almond milk, blueberry, pineapple, cherry smoothie. Blessing, okay? Don't forget to stop by my Etsy shop and pick up a pair of Chip Chat and Chill glasses. You can pair it up with your favorite drink, cocktail, mocktail, breakfast smoothie. You can put a yogurt parfait in here, whatever you want to put in here. It is the perfect complement to the best episodes of Chip Chat and Chill and moments where we have happy hour and play games and have guests answer questions. This is a good cozy cup, and it'll go great with, of course, our popcorn buckets that are also available on my Etsy website. And you can also shop for merchandise like our chatty tees, and whatever your heart desires. It's a great conversational piece. I will eventually offer some of these pillows for sale as well. This is the most comfortable, most plush pillow I've found to be my favorite. Get on the couch and get cozy and watch a good movie. But anyway, like I said, you guys sent me questions and I'm going to answer them. So, dealing with transition and loss. I don't have like so much of advice for anyone, but I would say for those that have been through it and the examples that I've had before I experienced the loss of a parent in like my big adult age, because I grew up without my birth father. If you don't know, just a little short backstory. My birth father passed when I was 4 years old. My mother remarried, and we all moved to Atlanta from New York in the early 2000s. I went to college here. My bonus father, my papa, my person, shout out to Papa. He has been so instrumental in all things Zakiya, and I mean that. So I am a very wealthy woman with a great circle of friends, a wonderful, amazing husband, and a lot of love to offer my kids and everybody else that surrounds me, because I have a good, wise father. So, with that said, me losing my mother so suddenly, so abruptly, left me with a lot of questions. I'm walking through what that feels like, what that looks like, what that does to my mind, what that does to my spirit, what that does to me as I navigate wondering what's going on in the future for myself or for my kids. You'll walk through that with me on the Zakiya Media House Instagram and YouTube channel. I try to each week let you know and give you insight on what I'm feeling and how this healing process looks for me. So you're welcome to join in. Please comment if you've been through this before, if you're going through it, if you know a family, friend, member, spouse, a partner, whoever's going through it. Invite them to my channel and we can have open dialogue together. I'm going to open up the Zakiya Media House community as well on YouTube, so we can have open discussions at any time. You can email me, chipchatitandchill@gmail, or zakiyamediahouse@gmail.com. Please keep in touch with me, okay? And if you haven't already, this is the spot for millennials. We talk good and we unlearn some things, but we have great kickbacks. This is what this show is all about. So if you're looking for a good midweek conversation and a good kickback at the same time, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel here and you'll get all you need each week from me. Now, the most notorious question I've been asked from any and everybody: how are the DeRoche kids? The DeRoche kids, to best answer that question, I have 4 bonus children, but the 3 youngest are soon to be 13, pray for me, 7 and 6. They are coping through art. So my kids, my whole entire family, we are a creative family. And that will be one of the major marks that we make on this earth together as a family. We're very, very creative, and I'm very proud of that. My kids like to draw. They like to write letters. Zariah loves writing letters. She's written Gigi, my mom, a couple letters since she passed away. So they make pictures, they paint, they ask questions. We love a good smell good. And yo, I smell good today. I love a good smell good. And I actually do smell quite delicious today. But they love perfumes just like my mother liked perfumes. So they love playing with my perfume carousel in my bedroom, and they like smelling smells. Oh, this smells like Gigi. We go out shopping and they see stuff in stores and like, that reminds me of Gigi. So that is their way of coping. They're doing okay. They have moments. This is going to be an interesting holiday season, as is the first one that, you know, my mother's already not been present for Zariah's birthday, Zahari's birthday. Junior's next month. He's the firstborn grandchild, so it's going to be interesting. She's always been present for them. And so that she's not physically here, I'll see how that goes. But right now, every day is a day-to-day thing. Every new day brings something unique. So they're coping with art, aromatherapy, if you will, fragrances, and just things that remind them of Gigi. They openly express that with myself and my husband. Next question. How do you reference your mom on a day-to-day? It's a good question. For honestly, the first couple of weeks, I didn't feel like I was connected to her. I want to tell you something. For me, my experience, losing my mother, you have to understand this. As a female, as a woman, right? I have always been carried. Even before I took my first breath on earth, I have always been carried by my mother. My mother and I have always been carried by her mother, and then her mother by her mother, so forth and so on. For the first time since my mother's birth mother has been gone since the 90s, my mother's now passed. For the first time in everdom, I feel disconnected molecularly from my portal here. And it literally feels like being an astronaut disconnected from the ship. But I literally feel very disconnected. And I felt it very strongly those first 2 and 3 weeks, very, very strongly. Very much disconnected. And so, interestingly enough, like I said, I've always been carried by them. And we have always been carrying my girls and their children, and so forth and so on. This is my first time being disconnected from all of them. and it feels very much like I really have to gain ground and find my way. And I'm doing so. I think I'm doing a good, steady job. Some days, I'll be honest, I'm in a myriad of thoughts, intrusive thoughts, ruminating fears, ruminating panic. I've had a couple panic attacks, and I know that has to do a lot with me literally learning how to breathe again. That first week was very scary. I didn't know how to breathe. I had to teach myself how to breathe. I forgot how old I was at one point. I had just so many different things happening when it was all fresh and new, and I did not feel connected to my mother. I didn't feel, some people say, I could feel your presence in the room. For those first couple of weeks, I couldn't feel her. I was disoriented in my dream life. I'm a very vivid person, very sensory memory oriented person. So sensory memory is a big thing for me, smelling things, tasting things, feeling things. But I will say that on a day-to-day, she does connect and she does make her presence known through butterflies. And she did that instantly, especially that first week and a half when my dad and I, one of my best friends, was planning and making arrangements for a homegoing celebration. She showed up as a butterfly when we took our lunch break. It literally, you see butterflies most of the time. They very simultaneously, they'll continue to move. Very, very rarely do you literally see a butterfly stay steadily in the same spot for more than 60 seconds, for more than 2 or 3 minutes. This one butterfly stayed still enough for us to capture it on video up close. Again, I've never seen nothing like that in my life, but repetitively since that day, she shows up in my front yard, in my backyard, when I'm out in butterflies. It's December. I saw a couple of butterflies recently, and it was peaceful seeing butterflies. I just recently took a trip and I had the chance to visit Mexico. Nice tan. So I look very much African American. I ain't so light skinned this summer. I'm not so light skinned this winter, right? But there were 2 butterflies when I was thinking about her as I was touring some Mayan ruins, and that was crazy to me. So on a day-to-day, she visits me through butterflies and ladybugs as well. When she first passed away and I was taking the girls to school, and she literally, as a ladybug, stuck to the car the whole entire ride to remind me, I'm still with you. So on a day-to-day, I'll think about her, I'll say her name out loud, I'll look at pictures, and I'll just let her know I miss her. You should be here is my whole thing. Like, you were way too young to be snatched so suddenly, and you should be here. You're missing out on a lot. So on a day-to-day, that's how I reference her. I look for those things, and I pray, and I just ask God, keep my mind, give me peace, continue to comfort my kids and my husband. My husband took it very hard, but we have conversations. When we're feeling things, we have conversations in real time as often as we can. So that's how I reference her day-to-day. What characteristics of your mom live through you? That's an excellent question. And so relevant to the show. I am very much, let's have a ball. My mom loved to laugh. She loved food. Good food, and the girl could cook. No one could touch Lady Sabrina's fried chicken wings. I said that earlier. And nobody could touch her red velvet cake. Red velvet is tricky. If you black, you know. If you know, you know. It could either be too sweet. Sometimes we burn it. It is what it is. But it can sometimes be too sweet. And the flavor gets lost. The essence of what the red velvet cake should be gets lost because it's just too sugary. Or it could be too dry. In her latter years, when she wasn't working for corporate America, my mother mastered her red velvet cake recipe, and I promise you, once I'm able to recover that recipe from her belongings, I'm going to smash it. But we loved good food. We loved to laugh. We watched movies. My mother was a girl's girl. She ain't like nothing with a whole bunch of suspense, nothing with a lot of thriller. She didn't like thrillers. She didn't like horrors, but she loved to laugh. So when I watch The Devil Wears Prada, when I see old clips of Shirley Temple, when I see old Sesame Street episodes, when I see The Little Rascals in black and white, that was my mother. So a part of those things that were her character or personality, those are definitely me. I'm going to make you laugh. I laugh every single day. My husband and I, we share laughs together every single day. There's not one day that has gone by truly, I don't think, since I've known him in 20 years, that we haven't laughed together. So that's very much my mother. And also style and fashion. She was a very classy woman. She loved accessories and good quality clothes. She loved to run up a tab on the kids. A lot of their good clothes came from her. So thank you, mommy, for that. And they know that very well. We're gonna miss you buying me dresses and stuff. That was Gigi. So that's my personality that I got from my mom. Fashion, fragrances. I love to smell good. Did I mention that? And good food and laughter. That's how she lives on through me. You're a girl mom. So is your mom. Thanks for pointing it out. What lessons has your mom taught you? This is an excellent question. So, in all transparency, I didn't fully feel like I really had a good sense of my mother's full personality. I didn't know her full backstory before she was a mom, before she was a wife. I knew things here and there, but she wasn't very open about sharing a lot of that stuff. That is a lesson in itself, because without realizing that until now, in hindsight, that is actually a lesson that my mother taught me without even trying or being intentional about it. I want my kids to know who I am. I want them to know the fun parts of me, the embarrassing moments of my life, the failures that I have made before, during, and after them, the triumphs that I have had, the things that I have learned, the avid learner that I continuously strive to be every day, that I just am, because I just love learning things about life and people. And one lesson is, yes, let your children in on who you are. And I was recently really transparent with my son. I'm like, I don't have all the answers, and I'm growing through this parenting experience in your childhood. I'm growing through this experience with you. That is something my parents' generation would never really admit to their kids when we were growing up as millennials. But it is what it is. We know better, so we're doing better, right? And so I'm very transparent and open with them. I'm letting them know you don't have to hide your hands and say, I can't go to mommy and daddy. I want them to come and say, I need to go to mom and daddy. They'll know what to do. I tell them I'm your helper and your protector first. If you need help with something, your peers don't know much more than you do. Y'all are all learning on the same level. So what better experts that are going to both help and protect you at the same time the most than your parents. So those are the life lessons that I have learned unconsciously, involuntarily, from my mom. She was very protective. Her tactics weren't something that I would wholeheartedly carry on through my parenting experience. I'm a little bit more, we got to talk, because I want to and I have to understand you. Because I'm ushering you through this childhood experience so that I can prepare you to be solid, intellectual, emotionally intelligent, mindful, present, kind, giving, responsible adults. And eventually we will be friends. Side note, I am my kids' friends. I just won't say that out loud until they turn about 2021. Right now, I ain't your little friend. But I say I am their friend because I want to get to know them. I want them to know me. I want them to know that I'm going to apologize. That's something that wasn't common, again, with our parents' generation either. I'm going to be apologizing to my kids whenever I am wrong. I will be humble and say, this is a lesson I'm learning in real time with you. I was wrong. I apologize. I'm truly sorry. Let's see how we can repair this and move forward without repeating the same mistake. So that's how I feel about that. Those are lessons that I have involuntarily learned. As a girl mom specifically, they got my girls, Zahari and Zahari, they got to know me. They got to. I want them to know how to be not just modest, but mindful. I want them to be openly expressive about who they are, not tuck in their feelings. And I want them to develop their voice in this house. When their children, they have a voice to speak, I'm letting them know already. You have a voice. Use your words. You don't have to yell and scream to make a point. Everything is not an argument. That's something else I just recently shared on Threads. One of my older cousins just recently openly celebrated me and applauded me and said how good of a mom they thought I was, and see what I do, my intention, my effort, my presence with the girl specifically.
And I'll be honest, on Threads as well, I said, their generation, they weren't as intentional as I am and my husband are about letting them know, hey, that's your best friend, that's your first friend. Y'all gonna be each other's ride or dies, and you have to use your words, don't use your hands, and don't use your volume. Volume doesn't necessarily mean that you have authority or that the tense of whatever conflict you and your sister are going through is going to change. No, it's only going to heighten the mood, and y'all just going to keep going higher and higher with each other. That's not your enemy. I want y'all to talk things through, use your words, say, hey, this hurt my feelings, or what you're doing makes me uncomfortable, or I don't like the way you're doing this, or I don't want to play this way. Use your words to express yourself. Those are the things I'm teaching them to express. And hey, you don't move on to another thing until y'all work out this thing that's currently festering and making tension between you two. You don't have an argument go on and on and on. And I'm teaching them that is your friend first. That's not your enemy. Don't ever treat your little friends better than you treat your sister. Point blank. So those are the things as a girl mom I'm learning for them. And that everybody ain't your friend. As millennials, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of women my age that have been offended by a female friend or had a female friendship breakup that probably hurt more than a romantic relationship. But just knowing, hey, this is one sound piece of advice that I have given my oldest son, and I'll pass this on when the girls are old enough to understand. When you're looking to build friendships, treat those that you're tentatively going to call your friend like a casting procedure. You're the casting director. These are the actors. You have a role called a friend. These are the role descriptions. They have to have X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. They got to do this. This is what's going to complement this person in my life and vice versa. This is what I have to offer. This is what they should be offering. This is what we're going to share together. This is what their character looks like. This is what their personality feels like. That's how you treat labeling people in your life as friend. If they don't meet those requirements, you do not cast them, and they do not get to audition to be your friend. That's the motto that I'm teaching, not just the girls, but my son as well. And that's how I think they should approach friendship. So that's one thing, or a couple things rather, that I have learned as a girl mom. This experience has really matured me and as I've been feeling very broken, I've also been healing. Healing does not feel good. Healing hurts. And this experience has been, again, the whole year. My mom and her sister passed within 6 months of each other. And the strength of my Aunt Gilda, she, for the past 30 years of her life, commuted from the Poconos to Queensbridge. She worked for New York Transit as a train conductor. But the last 30 years of her life, she was my grandmother's caretaker. My grandmother recently just turned 97. Shout out to Sally Cunningham. I love you, girl. She dedicated the last 30 years of her life plus to being my grandmother's caretaker. That means taking her to doctor's appointments. That means getting her to and fro. That means planning her birthday celebrations. That means arranging for her mail and her bills to be, all of that, while still having to adult for herself and take care of her very much adult child. So losing her was a whole, this is, most of my aunts have been alive my whole adult childhood, babyhood. There was a very big void stamped in my family losing the presence of Gilda. And she too got really sick. It's about this time last year. It was around Thanksgiving. She got really, really sick. And everything started happening like a domino effect very, very quickly. So while we were aware that she wasn't well, it was still a very, very, very big loss. So to lose them both within 6 months, she was the baby, we called her baby doll. Just the wonderful photographer she was, the political conversation she used to have, that laugh, to lose that, and the weight of responsibility that was on her that not rests on another family member now to look after my grandmother. I just wanted more for her. Sidebar, I had a bucket list wish before my mom passed, before Gilda passed, because she and 3 other female figures in my family work so hard and they care so hard and they love so hard. I wanted to treat them, surprise them to a 7-day vacation in Europe. And so that's not going to happen. And that sucks. I am going to turn 40 very soon. And they are not here. And that sucks. I am going to have my first Christmas without my mother. And that sucks. I am going to have my first birthday very soon. My son is going to have his first birthday soon. I'm going to have my first Mother's Day, and her birthday is going to come. Those are the other things that were very triggering as well. I was shopping for birthday cards, and I saw mom category cards, and that was hard. So I'm like, I didn't realize, you don't realize these things when they're happening, but yeah, I bought my last Mother's Day card. I bought my last birthday card. My mother gave me this Pandora bracelet this year, my birthday, January. She gave me this bracelet, and it's crazy. It says "Together Always" on the charm. Now, Pandora was her thing. And I explained to her, I was never one that gravitated toward Pandora bracelets, because I see everybody with at least minimum 5 or more charms on their arm. And I was like, that's never me, because I don't like a whole lot of weight on my arm. First of all, I'm thick. But I don't like I don't like weighty, heavy, busy jewelry. So it was that I admire them, and I admire people that have nice pieces, but it was nothing that I was dying like, oh, I have to have a Pandora. But that was something she aspired to gift me, and she gifted it to me. Thankfully, this year she was able to do it. But the irony in her, one of the last gifts she gave me was a Pandora bracelet, and the charm she chose to give me as my first charm to build onto says "Together Always." Things like that make you wonder. They make you wonder. Can't help but wonder. Like, what did you know? What did you feel earlier this year? Ironically, before my birthday even came in January, when I crossed into January 2024, I already knew this year was going to look completely different than it did when it started. I already knew that. God confirmed that to me, that the year is going to be very, very different. And very much so, it is very different than what it was when I started. Nothing really prepares you for the loss of a parent, especially as an adult. Definitely doesn't prepare you as a wife or anyone that wears multiple hats and is multifaceted like I am. But I will say that when it does come, you will realize that in some ways your parents prepare you for that. If there are any unanswered questions, any unspoken conversations, any unhealed, unresolved conflicts, get you a good relationship with a board licensed certified therapist. Talk to somebody, not just Jesus and therapy, okay? Because this is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. Time is short. That is one giant lesson that I have learned from this year. Time is short. It's time out for playing, time out for passivity, time out for lack of motivation, time out for uncertainty. When you know, you know. Whatever that is, professionally, romantically, spiritually, physically, whatever you're supposed to be doing, get up and do it. Whatever you're supposed to let go, go ahead and let it go. Whatever relationships you need to reconcile and make right and honor the people that you should be honoring and cherish, honor them now. Cherish them now. Celebrate them now. Reference them now. If people are not noble, worthy of reference, and not worthy of notoriety, or worthy of even having your presence, let alone speak your name, you know what to do. Do it. Time is short. I'm on some, let me have my purpose. Let me have my purpose partner. Let me celebrate my purpose partner. Let me cultivate and nurture these kids. Let me live my life to the fullest. I want to die empty when my time comes. That's what I'm on. Do you have a therapist? Yes, I do. And that's a funny question because I've been in therapy since 2021, I believe. Or 21. I unfortunately had to break up with the therapist I walked into 2023 with. That therapist literally left me hanging. I ended up getting new insurance coverage, and I sought to say, hey, I just want to confirm that you accept this. A week went by, mommy passes. I have to reach out again. I ain't heard from this lady. I have an appointment. I had to cancel it because I had no answer. Hey, I'm reaching out again. I'm asking, can you please confirm yay or nay you accept this insurance? I also cancel my appointment in an event that you don't, because my mom just passed and I need to talk to somebody, blah, 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 blah. The therapist replies, no, sorry, I don't accept that insurance. I just told you my mom passed away. I just told you that. Never acknowledged you. Okay. When I knew. Cut you off. Find another one. So I found a new therapist. So far, so good. We'll see how that goes. I am journaling now, and going through that process is unique also. I'm a very vivid and a very imaginative person, so using my words has helped me. Sometimes I run from it, but I've always been pretty good with words and writing. So when it comes to this, I think writing makes it real, and I haven't fully accepted that this is real. So that's the process that I've been going through. Like, journaling does help, and writing my prayers does help. Will you celebrate occasions and include your mom? Absolutely, and I've already begun doing that. I've already begun celebrating her and referencing her and including her in things that are in my goings on, in my day to day, and my milestones and my accomplishments and things. Funny thing enough, one of my last moments with my mom was her seeing my studio set up for Zakiya Media House, and she grabbed this pillow. So this is a two for one. I have Chip Chatter Chill on the front, Zakiya Media House on the back. She saw the couch, she saw the studio, she saw the equipment, and she saw the pillow. And she picked up the pillow. I guess she was so happy seeing my name on a physical, tangible good. She picks up the pillow and she hugs the pillow like it was me. And she holds this pillow, and I'm looking at her like, Mommy, it's a pillow. But in hindsight now, I understand her sense of pride in that moment. Like, she's really doing some things that she really loves and that she'll be excellent in. And without her really verbalizing that, but her body language spoke to me. And I could see that she was proud, and she could see that things were taking a turn. And I could feel in the wind things taking a turn for the good. So that is me through this show. The whole inspiration for starting Chip Chat and Chill and keeping it a good thing and making it grow and building community and reaching people not just in the U.S. but over across the pond and other places. I see y'all listening to me, and I appreciate you. I say thank you. But that inspiration came from the influence of my personality and parts of my personality that I got from my mother. How has grief influenced how you see yourself? Wow, this is a good question. Good question. How has grief influenced how I see myself? I am transitioning from the beginning stages of my grief process, where I was very timid, to be the bold, audacious person that I am. Those parts of my personality, I was very unsure. I was uncertain. I was scared. And I was scared for the people that I love. Like, I don't want anybody to get in a car accident. I don't want anybody to eat too much of this. Or I don't want anybody to get sick. Panic. Helicopter mom. I ain't never been a helicopter mom. I was helicopter mom for the first 60 days. I don't want nothing to happen. Don't let the kids go outside too long for them by themselves. I need to see you. If you go over the hill, I need to know where you're going. You need to talk. Panicky, right? Grief made me scared at first. But now I'm going from scared to now I got a story to tell. And it goes beyond just 2024. It's a lot of story to tell. Even, ironically, there were parts to Zahari, my youngest. I'm building a very, very special project for her. She's in kindergarten. And you're going to see in a very, very short while, slowly I'll build out a rollout of just an announcement. I've been building something especially for her, being the youngest. I didn't ever think that this would be a part of her story. This is the first major loss for my kids. This is the first experience for them of grief. This is the first time they're having to lose someone very, very close to them that they loved, were excited to be around, were excited to see, were excited to talk to and feel and have a bond with, and start to get to know their own personalities and be expressive and open and comfortable sharing their personality with my mom. This is their first loss. Grief shaping my personality. I hate seeing them. I don't like seeing my children hurt. I don't like for them to hurt each other. I don't like them to feel pain from me. I don't like raising my voice anymore. I was that black mother that was raised by a black mother that used to raise her voice all the time, but I don't want to be that person. If I ain't got to raise my voice, I ain't doing it. So I don't like to see them hurt, and so that's where I am with that. If I can take all their hurt away or protect them. Someone told me this when I had my son. She's like, becoming a parent, once you give birth, you wish you could hold them in your womb forever and protect them from any and everything. Protect them from all hurt. Protect them from trauma. Protect them, but you can't. They have to be independent people living their own lives. And you know what? You're right. So they are going to hurt. And there were things that were traumatizing to me even through that experience of watching them lose their grandmother and seeing her lifeless for the first time. Hard. 0 out of 10 would not recommend, but kids are resilient. Zahari is the most resilient one. I'll leave this question with this. The week leading to my mother's homegoing service, Zahari's the youngest. She's being the youngest sister in the moment, doing what she do, getting on her brother's nerves. My son, out of just lack of patience and angst, he's like, Zahari, I'm gonna hurt you. Me and her both said, no, you're not. And she continues on, Mom's gonna get rid of you. I said, wait, too far. Wait, what? Huh? No one's getting rid of anybody. Bring it back in. You all right? You want to talk about it? I'm like, how you just wholly dispose of a whole child? I was like, I'm never getting rid of your brother, crazy girl. But her first reaction when we sat them down and told them that she passed, my mom passed, her reaction was laughter. Okay, Kuma's crying. But she's resilient. She acknowledges the fact that Gigi is in heaven. She's not here anymore. But there are things like, on the other side, she's asking, Mommy, can I buy Gigi a camera? She's been asking to buy Gigi a camera. But I think maybe she means I want Gigi to buy me a camera for Christmas. So that might be one of her Christmas presents this year. That's what I have to share from my heart to yours. I hope this was helpful. I hope this is inspiring in some way. I hope that it is uplifting. I hope that it is encouraging. If you would like to give me a shout out, a kudos, a recommendation, a prayer, acknowledgement, advice, a question, a note, just say hi, anything, please, I receive all of it. Write me, chipchatterandchill@gmail.com. You can hit us up and follow us on Instagram, Chip Chatter and Chill, Facebook, Chip Chatter and Chill. Keep in touch with me. Stay grounded. Stay connected. I'm building community. We're going to do great things this year. 2025 is going to be explosive and amazing. Please let me know that you are listening. Let me know where you're listening from. I would love to hear from you. This is what this is all about, just building and networking, okay? So please stay in touch with me. Please make sure you subscribe and share this episode with someone who you think will need that. And also, until we meet again, chatties, stay well, love yourself, live in power. And when you come back, bring some friends right here to Chip Chat and Chill. See you next time.